Hello, Alex.
Hello, good evening, Sean.
Good evening. Welcome everyone to Fable Network News number 8.
Ooh,
We are there. We're almost double digits. That's all I've ever wanted is double digits in my life. So we've got more theatre news to this week. Loads of great opportunities. I think loads in particular for people who are starting out their careers, which is good to see. I think there's going to be a lot of support, or there's a big outcry to support people who are kind of just graduating or trying to start their careers and who haven't necessarily trained, and finding ways to support them. So there's loads of stuff this week that we can share for that, which is really exciting. But otherwise, how's your week? I've just tuned off Boris and his glorious doom and gloom.
I decided to skip him today for obvious reasons, probably the same reasons that the Scottish seem to be deciding to skip him, just because he's not essential in our lives right now.
So might be time to move soon, I reckon. Wait for that vote to come through.
One can hope, can't they?
One might get across the border before they close that down.
Are we an apolitical organisation here on the stream, or are we fully allowed to promote our lefty darling theatre bias?
I think we are lefty, probably lefty centre, probably.
Yeah,
but I think that's generally clear.
That's fine.
But yes, but I mean, everything that we are promoting, I think, doesn't take into account your political affiliation. So you are free to apply to whatever you want, as you are to us. If you ever apply to us,
we love you just as long as you're not in the cabinet. We love you.
As long as you're not in the cabinet, yes. If you're Michael Gove or Matt Hancock, you will not be getting a commission from the Fable Workshop. I apologise. I will put that out now. All right, let's get cracking. So our first one this week is the Pappy Show. Once again, Pappy Show are doing some amazing stuff once more for us all, which is awesome stuff. And this time they're launching a mentoring program. So they've got some funding to do this. I'm not sure how many people they are taking. I'm not even sure there's a limit. I think they're looking to see what applications they kind of get through. But they're looking for people to become mentees to mentors, obviously. And there's no prerequisite on what kind of background you need to be from. You can be from... you could be an actor, you could be a director, you could be a producer, you can be from whatever background you like. As long as you're 18 plus and you're kind of at the start of your career and you're looking for some mentorship, you can apply. The way they're searching for applications is that they want you to send in a 3-minute video in order to apply. They really love you to do that, just so they can get to really know you. They've got some questions on their website, so if you click the link in our description, that'll take you to a page with all the links, and you can find your way to their website. I'll also post it in the comments now so you can find it, so that's available for you. But they want a 3-minute video and answer those questions so they can get to know you a little bit better and get to understand kind of the best mentor that they can link to you, and then you'll get linked up, hopefully, if they feel like they can equip you with the right person, with a mentor from the Pappy Show. And that could be a producer, a director, whatever world you're from. You can apply by written as well, but just contact them and let them know that you would like to apply in that way. Or if you would like to apply in any other way, that might be a kind of voice recording or anything like that, do contact the team at the Pappy Show, because I'm sure they'll be happy to help in whatever kind of access needs you require in that way. But if you do get paired up with a mentor, you're going to get 10 sessions with that mentor, one every 2 weeks. It will kick off in March, and then that's basically mentor sessions for 5 months, basically, across that time period, to have a mentor. Completely free. It's completely supported and run by the Pappy Show. So if you're at the start of your career and you're looking to get a mentor from any kind of career in the arts, and you think the Pappy Show can help, then throw in an application and they'll be happy to receive it and support you as best they can.
That's great. We love the Pappy Show here.
We do love the Pappy Show. Yeah, they just
up and coming.
They just keep throwing stuff out. And I mean, like anyone from that Pappy Show team, if you get mentored with anyone in there, then you're sailing, really. You're off and away. It's great. All right, what have you got for me, Alex?
Next, we've got They Eat Culture, which is probably wins the award for sort of coolest company name we've got this week. They Eat Culture are a creative directive based in Preston and sort of Greater Lancashire. And they are looking for socially engaged practitioners to develop a series of creative workshops. And they're seeking expressions of interest from not just from sort of performers, but artists, designers, makers, techies, creative practitioners from all sort of the spectrum of the creative arts, but specifically people who are competent with making socially engaging practice and socially engaging art, as well as anyone who specializes in arts, health, or well-being as well, or accessible arts. And what they are looking for is a couple of people to develop workshops and what they call postal activity kits, which sounds really fun. I like the idea of postal activity kits to send out to people who can't otherwise get access to this kind of work. So they've detailed their process on how to do it. They're happy to receive as many expressions of interest as possible. And it is really good to just sort of send them in to sort of keep in touch with They Eat Culture. They said anyone who sends in an expression of interest will be added to their database because they've got lots of future opportunities to come up as well. So if you want to be on their radar, do someone in. But this one has like a ridiculously quick turnaround. You ready for this?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So to express your interest, you send a brief email to info@theyeatculture.org, or one word, with info about yourself and a link to portfolio or your site or a PDF with examples of your socially engaging activity-based work. You also need to include information about your creative practice, how it's socially engaging. With the Arts Council funding that they've got, they're also particularly looking for practitioners who can show that they can prove that they can contribute to the creative case for diversity, which is an Arts Council project, which you can find more about on their website. And you also have to prove they have like at least 5 years experience working with community projects and stuff. Okay. So you've got to be quite experienced in it. They do say that they're going to have other opportunities coming up for new and emerging practitioners. So it's worth keeping an eye on them anyway. But for step one, send in that expression of interest email with all that information by this Sunday, January 31st. They will then respond to that by Tuesday, February 2nd. And successful responses, they're going to choose 6 to 10 practitioners of those interested. They'll be selected. They'll be paid £100 half-day R&D fee to deliver and a developed sort of workshop or activity proposal. And they can get a bit of extra support and further meetings with They Eat Culture. And then they deliver that proposition on February 4th or 5th, so just later that week.
Okay.
And then 2 to 4 of those practitioners will be asked to take their proposal forward for a full delivery of that activity or plan, and they will get a £500 fee for that if they are successful. And then They Eat Culture will also help support the production of any activity boxes or filming any workshops that they want to do and put online. So they are like firing these out of a cannon. But
they ain't lying when they say They Eat Culture. That is quick.
Yeah, absolutely. You will be expressing interest by the end of this week, and by the end of next week, you'll know if you've got like a commission to go and make some really awesome stuff. So that's just a really sort of quick fire one for anyone who has any sort of social engaging community outreach work that they can think that they have on hand and they are ready to fire out into the stratosphere across the UK.
Yeah, absolutely. Holy mackerel. I mean, what you were saying about the kind of 5 years experience there, I think because it's an expression of interest, even if you don't have 5 years of experience, but you're interested in this field, it's definitely worth throwing your name in. Because if they're going to be adding you to the database anyway, being part of that as they proceed with those other projects, it's worth being part of that and getting your name in, even because if you pitch them a great project, we've got a great idea. It says that they'll prioritize people with more experience, but if you've got a great idea, throw it at them. Always.
Very much the impression I got from them. They were just like, just send in your interest and we will just keep you on our database and we'll put you on our mailing list and keep you in mind for any opportunity that comes up. So it's definitely worth a go.
Great. Awesome. All right, moving on. So this is one that's been about for a little bit, I think. So this is the Bread and Roses theatre, which I think is based in. I'm pretty sure it's based in London, and they have their Emerging Companies Award, which is up at the moment, and they're looking to support 2 emerging theatre companies that are led by minority ethnic or people of minority ethnic group. So that is including but not limited to Black, Asian, Indigenous people, people of color. They do in their wording use the words kind of BAME and BIPOC. BIPOC, and they kind of explain the reasons for using those terms. Within that, I think they're using it slightly as a catch-all, but they rationale their use of those terms in the application. So if you want extra clarification on whether you would fall under that, then do go check the website. And we've also published their kind of description of what they mean by BAME and BIPOC in our blog post as well, where you can find all the information, just so there's absolute clarity about what they're looking for. But they're looking for 2 emerging companies, and with that, if you what you want to do is they want to hear your proposals for a new piece of work that you're looking to create and potentially to R&D. And if you are successful, you'll get 1 week of R&D space, either in their venue or an alternative venue that can work and that they can all help to organise with you. You'll get a weekly fee for up to 6 creatives, minimum of 2, so 2 to 6 creatives. You can get a weekly fee for them. You'll get support from the in-house team and the artistic team at the Bread and Roses Theatre. You'll also then kind of start a relationship with the company, and depending on kind of the outcome of the R&D and whether the R&D would be something that they would be interested in programming, there's the possibility of a production run, like a week's run at their venue, to be discussed. There's no set date or anything like that, and that isn't a guarantee. That kind of depends on how the process of the R&D goes, but they're certainly open to putting the work on. And if you were to present it, it would be a box office split. That was the way that would work, and you'd also get access to their kind of professional marketing network, so you get access to all of that as well. So when they say kind of that it needs to be led by BAME or BIPOC, they're talking about it has to be minimum 50%. It can't be kind of one leader, and it has to be people that are involved in the kind of artistic processes and the decision making. So it can't be that you just have one person who Yes, exactly. They need to be part of the decision-making process for the way the company is led. There's a lot more detail on their website, and there's a lot more detail on our page as well, and you can find out the exact specifications of what it is they're looking for. But if you're an emerging company and you fit that eligibility criteria, it's certainly worth a company worth getting involved with, because Bread and Roses are continually promoting kind of new and emerging work, and have been doing for years. And loads of great fringe work and new work has come out of there. Really exciting stuff. So they're certainly worth getting involved with and sending in an application if that fits you.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely worth giving a go. We've got a very quick one next. It's the Monobox Lift Yourself Fund. And this is just fun for anyone who wants, as they say, a little boost to develop their craft. And I think it's sort of aimed at fresh graduates or new graduates, people just sort of emerging artists as well. But the fund will essentially support 20 creatives with 3 free workshops from Monobox's program during February and March and throughout. And all you need to do to apply is fill in just a little Google form that they have on the website, as you can see on the page there. And you need to do that again by Sunday, the 31st of January at 5 p.m. for your chance to get 3 free workshops with them. I think they said that if you scroll up, they've got the who's running the workshops. They say they do a lot of sort of bespoke sessions with voice and accent and dialect as well. So if that's your sort of area of expertise or what you're looking to train in more, that could be for you. But Monobox as a company itself also do provide just regular workshops with a lot of industry professionals from writing. They do ones on Shakespeare, movement, so much more. So if you are looking to hone your skills, then yeah, that's just a very quick one with a few free workshops if you're inclined.
Yeah, it's a really quick turnaround. I know it's the 31st of January, so if you are watching this and thinking about going for it, we know it's a quick turnaround, but it's a very, very quick short form. They only want some really basic information from you, and they're looking to support people, and we love the people at Monobox. They're constantly throwing out this kind of stuff, so wanted to throw it your way as well.
Yeah.
All right, amazing. So now moving on to a slightly big one. I'm going to try rattle on with this one and not spend too long talking about it, just because there's so many strands to it, and they are all quite. They're not necessarily complex, but there's a lot to them. And I definitely recommend that if you're interested in any of these opportunities, or anyone that is interested in these opportunities, send them to our site or send them to our blog post to have a look at the initial information. But definitely go to their site to check out the full job descriptions and the commission opportunities that are involved here. So this is with Rough Magic, who are a company based in Ireland. So this is particularly for, I emailed them today actually to ask about whether it was for people in Ireland specifically. They do say that in the first instance, a lot of these projects will begin remote, but they will, as soon as kind of lockdown ends, they want to be moving back to in-person and back into the theatre. And a lot of these come with office space as well. So they would kind of expect that to get used. So you need to be able to get to Dublin basically on a regular basis. So yes, it probably needs to be people who are based in Ireland. But if you know people in Ireland that would be interested in this opportunity, absolutely please send it over to them. And if you are from Ireland, this is for you. This is our first one we've ever talked about Ireland, so I thought it would be great to kind of put it in. So Rough Magic are a producing house. They make lots of shows, loads of opportunities, and they've really embedded the kind of artist development into their kind of core programming. So a lot of the artist development and a lot of the productions that they do really focus on developing artists and the way they approach that. And Compass is one of their core components of doing that. And within that is 4 different strands that you can go for. So there's the rough ideas strand, and this one in particular is for writers and theatre artists. And if you get that, you kind of have 6 months to you pitch your idea, and then you get 6 months to kind of work on it with a literary manager and the artistic director of the company. You get €1,000 to go towards that kind of development, and then at the end of the 6 months, you then pitch. You send them a treatment or a first draft of the idea that you've developed across that time. And then there's 2 things that can happen. They might go, yes, we want this show actually to be in our own venue, and they'll look to producing that show. So that goes on to produce work in the venue. And if it's not appropriate for their venue, they're going to support you to try and get funding from other bodies such as the Arts Council, all that kind of stuff, and they'll support you through that process as well. So it's a fantastic little incubator if you're a writer or a theatre maker looking to create some brand new work and you've already got an idea to play with. So the deadline for that is the 19th of February 2021. Application pack online for you to fill in, as well as kind of, I think you've got to send in your CV and you've got to send in an initial proposal and stuff like that. So then the next one is the literary manager position. So I said in the last one, you work with a literary manager, so they're also looking for the literary manager. So so this is a part-time job opportunity. So it'd be 1 day a week across a 12-month period. The salary is between €6,000 to €7,000 depending on your experience, and that would be to support the Compass program. So it would be supporting those writers, be working with the artistic director, but it would also be getting again more support from supporting the theatre as well, and looking at the new writing and the work they produce there. They do produce a lot of text-based work specifically, so there'd be a lot of engagement in terms of developing writing skills, helping freelancers in that world, and also looking at the shows that they're already looking at. So for that, the deadline is the 15th of February, and you'd need to send in a CV, references, and cover letter. So if you are a writer with particular skills, obviously in writing, strong writing skills, and you're happy to collaborate on lots of projects, then this is something worth looking at for you. Moving on for the literary manager, so they've also got, as part of that Compass program, a trainee producer position. So if you're looking to become a producer in your early career in becoming a theatre producer, you can get attached to this project, and then you basically help to produce you get training through the course of the year, you get free space and a desk to use at the venue, and then you help them to produce parts of their shows, and you're particularly connected to all the Compass activities. So any of those shows that then go on and to get produced, you'll help to produce those shows and bring them to life and bring that all about. But this is definitely a training position. It's development. You get mentoring support, etc. And they're particularly looking for people who have already produced something at like an undergraduate level or at a fringe level. So you need a certain degree of experience to be able to show your thing as well. But hopefully, if you're looking to get into producing, hopefully you've done a little bit of that somewhere along the line and you can apply for that. The last one And this is like really exciting. And the reason, I think one of the other reasons I'm talking about this particular thing so much, even though it's kind of it might not be reaching the network we necessarily have, but I hope by talking about these opportunities more, we kind of advocate them. It's great, because this is the next one I'll talk about with this as well, is that they've got these things called seed apprenticeships. So they have in-house apprenticeships that are 12 months long, and they offer the ability to assist on some productions, and they're really wide and open. So it's for anyone who's kind of emerging early career artists, but they're particularly looking for people from the spheres of directing, costume design, lighting design, AV design, set design, and sound design. So if you're from those worlds in your early career, this is for you. But you basically need to pitch yourself to them, demonstrate an understanding of theatre production, send them a cover letter, let them know why this would be good for you and your career development. And you get 12 months basically with the venue starting from March. What they give you with that is it's not like a continually paid position, but what they do give you is kind of desk space and ongoing mentorship and support with all your individual independent projects. But then they do make a commitment that they'll make you an assistant on one of the Rough Magic productions at some point during that 12-month period, in whatever role that may be. So that might be you're an assistant director on a production, it might be your assistant costume design, or whatever it may be that your specialism is. And for that project that you're the assistant on, you will be paid, depending on obviously what the project is, its length of time, etc., etc. So amazing, like, apprenticeship. I'd love to see more of that in venues appearing. And I mean, I certainly something that I'd love to be able to do and offer in the future as well. So I'm hoping by kind of talking about this stuff, we're kind of advocating it. But if you know anyone in Ireland that you think would be great for any of these roles, it's so far reaching from loads of different fields, theatre makers, writers, directors, etc., etc., etc. Definitely throw this over to them, because I think this is some great stuff coming out from Rough Magic. And I'm going to send the link that I'm posting in the comments, and the link that we have on our website takes you to a page that has all 4 of those strands, and then you can delve into them from there. So it's really good. It's this page here that's really well managed on their site as well, so which is great. Anyway, there's Compass. Tom Fletcher has joined us.
Hey, Tom Fletcher. How you doing? That's an absolute smorgasbord of opportunity. And you're absolutely right. It's the sort of stuff we really do want to advocate, of like just helping people get more rungs up the ladder, like in any way they can, and just get people into venues and people being able to sort of do this kind of work and get that experience behind them. That's really good. That's really
It's nice so hard. Just being a starting artist, and being able to have something that just gives you that foot in the door, that's going to give you that professional experience, and backed up by a company that clearly focus on development in such a way. It's so great to see a company that are making the development work part of their core work. Which is part of their core programming, that they're kind of banking on that, and know that they've got the ability to support that to such a degree that it's going to be of a certain quality. That's really great. So exciting.
That's really great. UK, follow suit. Do be like this.
Go.
The time is now. Excellent. Right, shall we move on?
Let's move on. Hello, Billy. Welcome to Good Vibes.
Hello, Billy. How are we doing? What have we got next? We've got Experimentica.
Which is just a fantastic word today.
That's a really great word. Experimentica is a live arts festival which is held and I think produced at Chapter, which is a multidisciplinary sort of venue space in Cardiff. So Cardiff-based Experimenta, and they are looking for artists based in the UK who practice, or did practice prior to COVID, they say, whose practice focused on live art or contemporary performance, and who need support to explore ways of adapting their approach to making and sharing their work. So there is going to be a 2021 Experimentica Festival. This is not about that. It is about that, but they haven't actually announced when that's going to be yet. And they do say that they're going to have an open call out for anyone who wants to take part in the festival in March. But this is something slightly different. The theme of that festival, they say, is going to be exploring narratives and alternatives to the status quo. But whilst this isn't the call out, this is a different call out, because they are looking to commission 3 artists to make new work for their interim Experimentica Presents strand of the festival. So it will work with 3 selected artists or groups of artists to develop a project, presentation, or interim public outcome, and that's going to be done by August 2021. So my suspicion is, if that's in the interim, that the Experimental Festival might be around August. So if you want to work in a new way that engages with the 2021 festival's broad theme of sort of questioning the status quo and its wider context, or if you have an existing work that you want to adapt for the COVID present world, or an idea that you just want to test out, or a performance that you have shown but you want a chance to bring it to more audiences, they want to hear from you. Successful commissions will receive £1,000 fee and access to a studio space if required at Chapter in Cardiff. So you need to be able to make your way to Cardiff if you want that. You got up to a month's worth of studio space between March and August. That's pretty generous. They also have technical advice and support from the in-house team if you require it. And also, and here's the cream of the crop, access to a premium Zoom account for hosting webinars and online rehearsals and meetings at your discretion with no annoying time limits. So beat that £1,000 fee.
That's the dream. That is the dream now. Giving away Zoom premium accounts.
Well, that's dreaming big right there. But but it's a good opportunity. But if you are interested in applying, you need to send the following. You need to send an expression of interest and include a description of your project or a project idea. And that is no longer than 350 words. You need a CV or a biography or a link to your website, links to specific examples of your work. This can include social media as well, and complete the equal opportunities monitoring form. And that should all be emailed to festival@chapter.org. You can also apply by submitting video and voice notes, but these can be no longer than 5 minutes and accessible via a password protected platform like Vimeo or something like that. Visual quality and editing will not be taken into consideration, just the content of your work. So that's for contemporary performers or sort of live art performers. If you've got a project that you think needs a platform to put out on, these guys are looking for something to put on at Experimentica.
Sounds great. We just had a comment from Siobhan Wedgeworth talking about how it's so hard on apps to kind of constantly kind of be working in that balance of having too much experience for early career or not enough, which is so hard. Absolutely agree. And I think it's something that a lot of companies should be looking at and kind of having that real clarity of what that means. I think earlier we had, when I was talking about the Bread and Roses company, they had a clear definition of what they meant by emerging, which is really helpful. So you could really know if you're above that eligibility. So many of these kind of opportunities that we see don't do that. I don't have an answer for. I think this stuff that's so hard, Siobhan. All the applying for stuff and having that feedback is so frustrating. So I'm flagging it to sympathize. But I also wanted to, I know Siobhan actually as well. I've been following her on Twitter recently. She's recently started posting similar to us opportunities and jobs online on her Twitter. If you go have a look at her, she's also throwing out opportunities every week, and she's put out some great, I think literally a couple of hours ago, some great opportunities and jobs that are out at the moment. So if you're looking for more opportunities and more ways of finding opportunities, then go follow Siobhan, because I think she's doing some great stuff over on Twitter. So definitely go have a look.
Definitely, there's so many places to find all sorts of stuff. Don't just visit our page. There's loads different. There's so many opportunities we don't get around to talking about. So,
hugely. I think we're just trying to find stuff that's going to really hit our kind of network. But completely sympathise, Siobhan, and thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the same boat. I feel like I don't know what to call myself these days. I've made my own work and produced and toured it, but only on a fringe level. So does that mean I'm experienced in making work, or am I still as fresh as a graduate? I have no idea.
Yeah, it's really tough to try and define that. And a lot of the time as well, it just comes down to the way that you word the document, which is really hard. So as much as you can, it's about trying to find that stuff out from the document and use their own wording and the way they pitch it, and then just trying to gauge that as best you can. It's really tough. I don't think anyone's. I think it's probably why there's a movement towards video, so you can try and hopefully kind of really convey your position in the clarity that you need. So, which is why the Pappy Show are probably doing the video stuff. All right, moving on. So moving on from some early career stuff, we're moving on to one with the Nottingham Playhouse now, which is looking for experienced people, because it's to become an associate artist with the company, joining the likes of James Graham, Amanda Whittington, which are names that I'm aware of. But they're great. So this is for to become an associate artist with the company. You need to be a theatre maker of some kind of capacity in the East Midlands, in that area. And this is kind of like it's a freelance contract. So it's a 1 year freelance contract, and it's £3,000 if you are successful. And the general kind of they've got lots of tasks online that they talk about that fulfill this role. But it's generally kind of artistic, are supporting the artistic team and the development and the venue in various capacities. So that might mean kind of meetings and being a sounding board and being a kind of supporting artist, the artistic director, and other people within the venue. That might be reading scripts. That might be supporting freelancers. It means going to fundraising events and supporting the venue in best ways you can, being an ambassador for the venue. So it's kind of. It's very much kind of you'll be asked to kind of support in the ways that the year requires, basically, and be a supporting artist in that venue, essentially. In order to apply, you need to send in a short statement for quite a big role, actually, and quite a prestigious title and quite a prestigious venue. But they're only looking initially for a short statement of about 300 words about why the opportunity appeals to you and what you would be able to bring to the venue. You need to send in your CV, and you need to complete their equal opportunities form. You can also send it in via video format if you prefer. And I think the limit on that is 5 minutes. And the deadline for that is Thursday, 4th of February, 2021. So if you are based in the East Midlands and you've got a wealth of experience behind you that you would like to share with the Nottingham community and the venue there at the Nottingham Playhouse, then definitely go ahead towards this. And this is for you.
Lovely. That's a nice little East Midlands one there for you.
Yeah.
Moving across to the sort of Somerset way, we have a particularly interesting one that we found on Art Jobs. This is the Artist Steering Group, which is a group of 4 artists that's going to be built to advise on the R&D of a phase of, again, socially engaged artwork, like a couple we've had before today. And this particular artwork is called Private Weather Diaries, which will explore extreme weather, enchantment, and misinterpretation. And that will be based on sort of studies around both the Somerset Moors and the high Arctic and the Arctic Circle. So they're looking for 2 socially engaged artists to join the group for this R&D phase, and anyone with experience in creating or developing collaborative work that raises questions about power, structure, care, and risk, and that sort of stuff. So it's going to be talking about the weather, but it's a group that meets 6 times at half-day increments, and that's for the rest of the year between March and December 2021. 5 of those times will be on Zoom, and 1 will be in person at an agreed convenient location for all. Travel expenses will be provided. The focus of these meetings is basically just to be a bit of a sounding board and just to support this new project and provide sort of a peer-to-peer support for the ASG artists. So for 6 sort of half days of work throughout the year, there is a fee of £750, so it's about £125 a day. And they are ideally looking for artists with about 3+ years of experience making sort of social engagement work. If that does sound like you, and if the topic around it, of the topic of studying the weather pattern between Somerset and the Arctic Circle, sounds like it's of interest to you, you can apply. You can email Alice G. tattonbrown@gmail.com with application for ASG in the title, and you need to include a website link, examples of your work, and 200 words or a 2-minute film or a 2-minute audio of an artwork by someone else which you wish you'd made, which I think is a really interesting little submission.
Yeah, a little provocation. Nice.
Yeah, a bit of analysis on other people's work to really demonstrate your skills. The deadline to do that is the 8th of February at midday, and then they will do some informal 15-minute interviews on the 15th, a week later, to see if you're suitable. But just seemed like an interesting little sounding board opportunity there to sort of help through an R&D.
Yeah, well, a lovely way of just bringing people in. It's a great way to just kind of grow your network, get some more creative perspectives on an idea. I think it's a lovely way of kind of investing in people. I think it's great. And I think it's great about it being about something slightly niche, I guess. I mean, last week we had the fungus opportunity with the University of
the
Exeter?
Fungus Kingdom.
Love it.
How deadly fungus is, yeah.
Fungus Kingdom. And now we've got ones about weather between southwest of the Arctic. Love it. Great. All right then. So on to our last one. So this is with a theatre company called Warts and All, and this is my my favourite one of the week, really, because who wants to make some work on a bus?
Yeah, me.
I want to make some work on a bus. What a fantastic opportunity. So this is Warts and All Theatre, and they're working with Made with Many. And the idea is that they want you to send in a proposal for a piece of work that's going to go on a bus around the area of Wellingborough in July 2021. The festival is going to, and it's for a festival. The festival is going to start on the 12th of July, culminating in an event at the centre of Wellingborough on the 25th of July. What they're looking for is a project to go in a bus that's going to travel to 4 different communities in Wellingborough. So it'll be 4 performance days, and they want the whatever the project is to emerge from the bus itself, which is a really lovely little invitation to create something really exciting for that area. There's some stuff on their website that talks about inspirations, things they'd like to see. They'd love it if you can take some inspiration from the history of the area. But the theme of the festival as a whole is the concept of play and what play means. Your pitch doesn't need to kind of necessarily tie into that theme, but they would love it if you could take that into account, and it could be part of your inspiration. In order to submit a proposal, it can be a video that's under 5 minutes, or it can be a written piece of text that's no more than 3 pages long, and you need to include a budget breakdown in that. So if for the proposal you're working with a £6,000 budget, so within that, and it's 4 performance days, you need to think about rehearsals and all that, and who you want involved and the materials. But that £6,000, is worth noting, includes the artist fee. So whatever you would deem as your artist fee within that, you need to consider within the budget, and whoever else collaborators that you bring to the part of that project needs to be part of that £6,000. It's a nice little small pot to be playing with, but 4 performance days and an opportunity to make a piece of work on a bus, I'm game. You need to just keep in mind as well that it's happening in July, so it needs to be COVID safe, or you need to be able to justify why the work is COVID safe. It's unlikely we'll be out of that by that time, so you need to just keep that in mind as well. You need to pitch something that is going to be COVID safe and can be made in that way. There's so much more information. They give loads of great stuff about inspirations, stuff about the festival, more details, and a bit of information about Wellingborough if you don't know the area for use in shaping your application. But that is Warts and All. The deadline for submissions for that is 5 p.m. on the 2nd of February.
Wonderful. Call me uncultured or perhaps geographically jaded due to lockdown, but where is Wellingborough?
Wellingborough? I knew you were going to say that. It's a very good question.
Research. Come on, research.
Sorry. No, Wellingborough. So Wellingborough, I am just getting the weather in Wellingborough, which doesn't help me.
That isn't helpful.
I mean, I am terrible. I clearly gave up geography very quickly.
Oh dear.
Oh, so it's by Northampton. It's just outside Northampton. Just so it's kind of it's not. It's in between Cambridge and Birmingham, near Kettering, it's like the Midlands area.
Oh no, not Milton Keynes.
Yeah, it's literally just above Milton Keynes, not far away from Bedford in that area. What do you mean?
God.
Oh no, Milton Keynes. What's wrong with Milton Keynes?
Clearly, you've never been to Milton Keynes.
Sorry, if you've been to Milton Keynes. I said we could voice our political leanings, Alex. I didn't say you could slag off Milton Keynes.
No.
Oh wow. Well, I'm sorry. Well, that's we've lost everyone now.
We'll see if I return next week now.
Nightmare. Yeah, I'm gonna get someone in from Milton Keynes next.
Yeah.
Who lives in Milton Keynes? All right, so that's it. That's all the news for the week. As always, you can find I've posted all of the links to everything in the comment section. So you can find individual ones if you want to find them there, or likewise, you can head into the description on our page, and that will take you to a page with all of the links all in one place, and as well as includes all the additional information that we've been talking about today. So if you'd like to find that, there's a blog post with all that information in there that you can find it there. You can also sign up for our newsletter. And so if you miss the stream, we will send the news to you every week. It usually gets sent out on midday on Thursday. So you get all the news sent straight into your inbox, and then you can just access it all from there. And so it means every week you're getting the opportunities, wherever you are, whenever you are. So do sign up for the newsletter. As always, as well, we also got our your news page on our site. So if you have news, if you have something that you would like to share and talk about, that could be whether you've got workshops coming up. That could be, I know Kelly Horn, who we had on the very first episode of Fable Network News, who shared some workshop with us, is starting up her workshops again as well. So
great.
And so we're tied into that. I'm tied into that because she shared that information with us initially. So it's really lovely just to link with people. So if you've got projects, even if it's something you just want to celebrate, you've got commissioned for something, you're going to have some news, you're going to have a show coming up in the future. I know that stuff is thin on the ground right now. So if it does happen, we would love to hear it. And we'd love to share it with our community so that we can get people coming to your stuff. That would be great. So please do let us know if you hear anything. Head to the Your News page on our site and tell us there.
Yeah, definitely. And I think one sort of long-term goal in doing all this is we do want to build this into a proper community. So, we want to make this a really good place where you come to share your stuff and share your work, and whether that be performance, whether that be workshop, and where we have a bespoke community of people who come here specifically for those opportunities. So make sure you're spreading the word as well. Not just about what we're doing, but what you're doing, and also what other people are doing. We've had Siobhan on in the comments today. Keep an eye out for everyone else. We've got there's Sean on Twitter as well, who we sort of go to for a lot of these opportunities as well. There's people everywhere sharing all sorts of opportunities. So do keep abreast of everyone else that we've given a shout out to in the previous episodes of Fable Network News.
Yeah, big time. How about Tom Fletcher coming in with how about an interactive Wheels on the Bus? Mate, I honestly think the theme is the theme of play, and you've got $6,000 to play with. Interactive Wheels on the Bus? Yes. Yeah. 100%. I think you can absolutely pitch that. I think they might be getting several hundred applications for interactive Wheels on the Bus, but if you can make yours stand out amongst the best interactive Wheels on the Bus,
yeah,
go for it. I'd go for it. All right, lovely. So with that, thank you, Alex.
Thank you very much, Sean. Thanks for having me.
It's not a pleasure. And I will see you again next week, and I'll hopefully see some more people next week for next week's Fable Network News.
Same time, same place.
Oh, yeah.
Have a good one.
Bye.